Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Words We Die By, the podcast where we explore how language shapes our perceptions and actions regarding the environment. I'm Viz, and today we're diving into a crucial topic: how language conceals the real culprits behind environmental disasters. The Amazon rainforest is being lost at an alarming rate. Sea levels are rising. Natural disasters have devastated coastal regions. Sound familiar? But have you ever asked yourself, who is losing the rainforest? Who is making sea levels rise? Why do we call them natural disasters instead of corporate disasters? In eco-linguistics, there's a thing called erasure. This happens when agents, especially those causing environmental harm, are erased from the conversation. They become invisible, and this is no accident. Let's analyze the phrase, forests are being lost. This is a perfect example of nominalization, turning an action into a noun. We don't say, Company A is destroying forests to plant palm oil, but rather, forests are being lost. So who is losing the forest? Are they disappearing on their own? Or is someone intentionally destroying them? Consider another example. Climate change is the greatest threat to humanity. It sounds like climate change is a natural entity, a phenomenon that appeared on its own. But who created climate change? Who is driving it? This statement uses facticity, turning a complex process into a simple fact without mentioning its human origins. That's why I want to ask, why do we call it a natural disaster and not a corporate disaster? When an area floods after forests were cleared for development, is it really nature causing this? Professor Aaron Stipp, a leading expert in eco-linguistics, has pointed out that impersonalization is one of the most powerful tools for concealing responsibility. We say pollution occurred instead of Company X dumped waste into the river. Listen to these sentences from actual environmental posts and reports. Biodiversity loss is occurring at an alarming rate. Deforestation continues to rage in Vietnam. Sea levels are projected to rise from 2 to 3 feet by 2100. Do you see the pattern? No human agents are mentioned. Now, let's rewrite these sentences with actor agency. Extractive corporations are destroying biodiversity at an alarming rate. Agricultural and timber companies continue to deforest at serious levels. Emissions from industrialized nations are melting ice and will raise sea levels from 2 to 3 feet by 2100. Feels different, doesn't it? When we bring human agents back into the story, responsibility returns too, and that's exactly what many want to avoid. Erica Finn, a researcher in environmental communication, says, language doesn't just describe reality, it creates reality. When we talk about climate change as if it were a natural entity, we make it harder to address. That's the power of nominalization, turning verbs into nouns. Instead of oil companies are destroying ecosystems, we say ecosystem destruction is occurring. The action becomes an abstract event, and the agent disappears. So what does this mean for us? Language is not innocent. How we talk about the environment shapes how we think and act. When we accept language that conceals culprits, we inadvertently accept an irresponsibility. As students, communication professionals, or educators, you have a special responsibility. When writing an article, creating media content, or teaching, pay attention to how you use language. Who are the agents in your story? Who is being concealed? This isn't just about grammar. It's about justice and truth. When we allow corporations to hide behind vague language, we permit them to escape accountability. I'll leave you with a small challenge. In the Common Week, notice how the media talks about environmental issues. Who is mentioned? Who is omitted? And most importantly, how can you use your own language to clarify, not conceal, the real culprits? Because ultimately, words aren't just what we live by. They might also be what we die by. This is Fees from the Words We Live By. This podcast is part of a special project exploring eco-linguistic concepts and their impacts on environmental discourse. It demonstrates how language shapes our understanding of ecological issues and to highlight the importance of linguistic choices in addressing environmental challenges. If you're interested in learning more about ecolinguistics and how our words influence environmental action, I encourage you to explore the resources mentioned in the project notes. Thank you for listening to this exploration of how the words we choose can either obscure or illuminate the path to environmental responsibility.